One of the harshest truths that I had to accept at some point was that people are not going to support me like I expect them to. I think very often when we're on our path, when we're working towards something, right? When we have a goal and a dream that we really want to achieve and we're striving to achieve, right? We very often look to people for support, especially those who are the closest to us, right? Our friends, our family, etc., right? And we begin to realize that they are not supporting us like we expect them to. They are not giving us the support that we initially expected. And when we realize this, we sort of begin to become discouraged. We sort of begin to doubt ourselves because we were looking to them for their support and it's not being given to us. And I think once you realize this, you begin to realize that you have to be the one to become your biggest supporter. You have to be the one to give yourself the support that you need. You have to be your biggest supporter once you're on your path. See, here's the thing, right? Most people in this world don't even believe in their own dreams. Don't even believe in themselves. So why are you expecting them to believe in you? Why are you expecting them to believe in your dream if they don't even believe in theirs, right? See, most people, right? Most people start something. They have an idea. They have something that is on their heart to do, right? And they start it initially. They might do it for a little bit. And they begin to realize that they're not seeing the result. They're not seeing the progress that they expected. And because they're not seeing the progress that they expected initially, they become discouraged and they stop along their path and they just throw in the towel and give up, right? And so once they realize that you are working towards something, once they see that you're on your path and you're striving to achieve your dreams, striving to achieve your goals, they project their own internal limitations on you, right? Whether consciously or unconsciously, they think to themselves, right? There's no way he's going to succeed. They think to themselves, there's no way he's going to make it. I didn't make it. I realized that it was a complete waste of time. And so why would he make it? Why would he be successful, right? And even beyond that, very often they really are preying on your downfall in their minds, right? Very often they're wishing that you fail simply because they feel as if they are failures themselves. Simply because they feel like they are failures because they couldn't continue. They didn't have the courage. They didn't have the discipline. They didn't have the conviction to continue on their path. And so deep in their minds, they are praying that you fail. And this is why your inner conviction has to be strong enough. This is why you have to be the one to believe in yourself. See, it doesn't matter if the entire world supports you. It doesn't matter if the entire world believes in you. If you don't believe in yourself, then it's pointless, right? It doesn't matter if 1,000 people doubt you. It doesn't matter if 1,000,000 people doubt you. If you believe in you, then you will be successful, right? You don't need your dreams. You don't need your goals. You don't need your purpose. You don't need that thing that's on your heart to do to be validated in the external world if you've already blessed it in the world within, right? If you believe deep in your heart that the thing that you're trying to work towards, the thing that you're trying to achieve, the thing that you're working towards is the path that is meant for you, right? If it was in your heart to do and you believe it is your calling, then your belief in yourself is truthfully the only thing that matters, right? And sure, I think we all desire to have people around us who support us, people around us who encourage us, people around us who cheer for us, right? Because I think at some point on our path, we run into roadblocks, right? There are times in which we feel discouraged, times in which we feel like giving up, right? And it's It's really nice to have someone supporting you. It's really nice to have someone cheering for you, right? But here's the thing. What if you have no one like that in your life? What if you have no one available to be a cheerleader? Right? Everyone is really caught up with their own shit. Everyone is dealing with their own stuff. What if you have no one around you to pour into you and to lift you back up when you fall, right? What if you don't? Because believe it or not, very often when we're walking this path, we can, I don't really like to use the word lonely, right? We can find ourselves alone, right? It's a path that very often we look around us and we realize that no one is there to cheer for us. No one is there to support us like we would expect them to or we would want them to. And so once you begin to realize that you have to be your own source. You have to be the one that picks yourself back up even when you fall down. You have to be the one to give yourself the love, give yourself the patience, give yourself the compassion when you're on your journey. You have to be your biggest supporter, right? You truly begin to come into, yourself, and you truly begin to become the person that you're meant to become once you begin to give yourself the support that you need. Once you find the strength and the courage to pick yourself back up, right? Just because you fall down, doesn't mean you're a failure. Just because you stumble doesn't mean that you've lost. The only way you can lose is if you've decided to lose. The only way you can fail is if you look on a failure, right? Quote unquote failure as something that's final and you allow yourself to be defeated. See, the world can never truly defeat you, right? You're the only one that can defeat yourself. And very often we defeat ourselves, by giving up. Very often we defeat ourselves by throwing in the towel. You have to be strong enough on your journey, right? You have to be patient with yourself on your journey. You have to recognize and realize that the path to success is never truly a straight line. There are going to be bumps in the road, right? There are going to be obstacles that you have to go through, and these obstacles are also necessary for your growth. But ultimately, being able to pick yourself up, being able to validate yourself, being able to love on yourself once you've fallen down is truly how you achieve the things that you want to achieve. It's truly how you continue to progress in your life, right? When you're on your journey, you will run into people who will doubt you. You will run into people who will look at you as stupid once they look around and they don't see you progressing. They don't see the fruits of your progress, I should say, right? They will doubt you. They will call you a failure. They will tell you to give up, right? But you can't listen to those people. You can't accept their words as truth. You have to believe in yourself. See, here's the thing. When you plant a seed, right? The world, people, they will question its conception until it becomes visible. But it is your responsibility and your responsibility alone to believe in its growth. Once you've started something, once you're working on something, you're not going to see progress of it immediately. Things are not going to come into fruition immediately. And just because things don't come into fruition immediately doesn't mean things are not working out for you. Once you plant a seed in the ground, right, it takes a while. It takes for you to water, it takes for you to tend to it, for you to begin to see the plant or see the fruit, right? You don't see it immediately. But you don't keep digging up the soil wondering if it's growing, wondering if, it's blossoming, right? You do what you do, right? You water it and you have faith that it is growing. And when it comes on to our dreams, when it comes on to our ambitions, when it comes on to our goals, that's what we have to do. Show up every day and give our best. Show up every day, and once we give our best, we pat ourselves on the shoulder. We encourage ourselves. We tell ourselves how proud of ourselves we are, right? We have faith in ourselves, and we understand that it is a process. It is a journey. And every time you doubt yourself, you set yourself back. Every time along the journey you look for the fruit and you don't see the fruit, right? You set yourself back. Ultimately, you have to believe in your journey. Ultimately, you have to believe that you're going to be successful even when you don't see the fruits of the success. A lot of us have it twisted in the sense that we believe that we sort of have to see the success, in order for us to sort of believe we're worthy or good enough, right? But believing that you're worthy and good enough is the precursor to success, right? It's the other way around. Your conviction is the precursor to your success. Believing in yourself along the path is the precursor to seeing the fruits. You have to think of your conviction as, the water that you pour, on the soil whenever you plant a seed. That's what your conviction and your faith is. And if you don't believe in yourself, then what's the point? It's pointless. You have to be your biggest supporter. You have to validate yourself along the journey, right? If you fall down, you can pick yourself back up. If you fall down, you don't have to see yourself as a failure. If you fall down, you don't have to make that fall something that's final. It's only final if you make it final. And I think very often we sort of have to have a setback so that we can have a set forward, right? We have to sort of fall down, for us to sort of learn the lesson and grow from the experience, right? Most people in this world don't fail because they're not good enough. They fail because they accept failure as something that is final. See, the person that is successful, the person that is living their dreams, the person that is where they desire to be, ultimately had to fall down multiple times. And very often they found themselves on the path alone. Very often they found themselves, walking the journey by themselves with no one to support them. But they believed in themselves. They were their biggest supporter. And so you have to be your biggest supporter. If you have people around you who support you, embrace their support, right? Embrace their love, right? Keep them close to you. Love on them, right? But ultimately, you have to be the one to be your biggest supporter. Sometimes the journey is going to be lonely, right? Sometimes you're going to be alone. But it's all part of the journey. It's all part of the process, right? So stop doubting yourself. If you're not seeing the progress and the fruits in this moment, just because you're not seeing them doesn't mean that things are not happening behind the scenes. Things are working. But don't wait to see evidence of it to believe it. You have to believe it to start seeing evidence of it. And being your biggest supporter, giving yourself the support that you desire, giving yourself the support that you need, is ultimately the true key to success. Your conviction, your faith, your belief in yourself is truly the key to success in everything in this life. Because your self-belief is your ceiling to everything that you want in this life. Right? If you don't believe in yourself, then you can never truly be successful in this thing that we call life. And you can never truly have what it is that you truly desire. So, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. And I really hope you got something from this video. Now, when it comes on to walking our paths, very often we feel alone. Very often we a lot of us, we would love to have someone, cheerleading, someone supporting us, someone that is there for us. And very often we find ourselves in a situation in which we don't have that. Or we might be surrounded by people who have such a negative mindset, and they project that mindset onto your path. And then we believe, when we begin to sort of listen to them, we begin to sort of pick up their negativity and their limitations and make their limitations our own. And you have to realize that, and you have to understand that you can't allow that to get to you. Right? You can't allow their limitations to be your own. The journey will very often feel like an uphill battle. Sometimes you're going to doubt yourself. Sometimes you're going to fall down. And that's really part of the journey. But the journey only ends, and defeat is only final if you make it final. So keep believing in yourself, right? Keep going, keep progressing, keep striving, because you will be successful if you keep going and if you believe in yourself, right? So thank you for watching once again. Take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a little bit of love every day, like I always say. And give yourself a little bit of love, support, and whatever it is that you need, you can give it to yourself. Peace and blessings.